When I have a thought, I gotta let it out. It's a bright spot that I can't even doubt. My opinions, my point of view, even if things are a little chopped and screwed. So yeah, even if you disagree. So yeah, even if I'm not in your pedigree. So yeah, especially if you agree. So yeah, so yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you're listening to it. Welcome to the So Yeah podcast. We are back, season 2, and I think we should change it up a little bit for season 2, don't you think? I think so. New outfit, new pajamas. For always and forever a cheetah girl, so she'll always be wearing cheetah on this podcast. But I kind of didn't expect for this to be a new season, but I actually did 28 episodes. Yeah. Let me say that again. I did 28 episodes already. And if you listen to all 28, mi amor. Thank you so much for listening. It was a lot of work, and obviously I'm still here, and I'm still doing it. I'm still hitting it. And wherever you listen to it, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, thank you so much for listening and being a part of the So Yeah family. So nothing else is going to change about the podcast, nothing about the formatting. I just okay, because we know that this is my manifestation portal, because I see this blowing up. I see Caroline Diamond blowing up, okay? And I know you do too. That's why you're an avid listener. That's why you're an avid fan of the podcast. I foresee, walk with me here, that's so Raven. I foresee me having a pajama line in the futuro. Can you just believe it? If anybody who knows me really personally, I love pajamas. The minute that I come home from my outside clothes, I'm literally just that cut I did 3 minutes ago. That is me changing into my pajamas. Kylie will always laugh and be like, God damn, that was quick. And I'm like, well, yes, I need to be in my comfy clothes ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, ASAP family. And I know what it's like to feel lived in my pajamas. So my manifestation one day is to have my own pajama line. So we're going to do that here. We're going to manifest it together. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the first episode back. And it has to be, it must. There is nothing else that I can talk about on the first episode of season 2 of the So Yeah podcast other than Heated Rivalry. There will be spoilers, of course, in this episode. And if you haven't watched, literally, what the fuck are you doing? Dead ass dead. Okay, so basically, if you don't know, I'll tell you a little bit. So, Heated Rivalry is based on a book series. It's actually the Game Changer series by Rachel Reed. And there's 6 books in the series. So it's based on the books. And then Jacob Tierney created the show. And he actually created the show in Canada with the Crave Network. And let's all say, thank you, Crave. I hope you just said thank you, Crave, because I just gave you space. We're giving space. But it was on the Crave Network, and it's a Canadian show, technically. And 2 weeks before it was supposed to premiere in Canada, HBO bought the rights to show it in the United States. And can we all say thank you, HBO? Thank you, HBO, because without it, I would not have the will to live. And you might be like, Caroline, that's a little dramatic. And you know what? Is this your first time here? Dramatic is what I do best. I'm serious. So it started coming out, and I was there at the beginning. Okay, I didn't hop on the bandwagon late. I was there from the first episode. Okay, and Holy shit. Okay. So basically, the show is about two hockey players who are rivals. They get recruited at the same time. They're rookies at the same time. And then they go into the major leagues, the MLH. Yes, because it's different than like what it are. NHL. Ski, boop, ba, gi, lots of letters. So they get recruited at the same time, and their teams that they play for, the Montreal Metros and then the Boston Raiders, I believe, they're already arch rivals as teams. And then you have these two rookies who are draft 1, draft 2 pick, and then they become, rivals from there. But, we love an enemies to lovers pipeline. And that's exactly what happened. So they're rivals, but guess what? They fall in love. So the first episode is a little chaotic. Like every time I've shown the first episode, people are like, wait, what the fuck? Like it goes from like 6 months, 3 months, 6 weeks, like this. So if you ain't paying attention, you can't watch the program. I need you to have your eyes peeled. And if you're not watching the program like this, you're going to get lost in the sauce. So I need you to keep your eyes peeled on this shit, okay? So it jumps a lot, and basically they hook up right before their rookie season begins. Ilya is Russian, and he plays for the Boston team, and he already has a little bit of expression within his gay side. Technically, he's bi, and he's already had that kind of gay experience. He's already had a man on his DICK. And Shane Hollander is from Canada, and he's the one that plays for the Montreal team, and he has no experience with being gay at all, but he's having these feelings, he's having the sensation. And I'm not going to walk you through step by step on every episode, but basically they hook up for like 8 years. I know it's like a long situationship, and like every time their teams play each other, because they're technically in the same division on the East, they basically hook up. And ooh, when I tell you these sex scenes have played non-stop in my brain. Immediately when I watched it, I said, spank bang. Like, it's giving me so much material for later when I'm alone, okay? And sidebar, I would say generally I'm a sexual person. You know what I mean? Like, I am in touch with my sexual side. I feel myself, all that kind of stuff. But like, to be honest, I didn't enact my sexual side at all last year. My legs stayed closed like a book that's been on your shelf that you should probably read. Yeah, it was closed for business, and I was just like focusing on myself or whatever. And I feel like this show released something so dormant inside of me, and I am ready to be unleashed. And not only like are there like sex scenes and stuff like that, and it like grows throughout the series, like in the 4th episode, it gets really like, there's like some back and forth, and it's like, oh my god, we shouldn't, but maybe we should kind of vibes. And that ending scene in the club, all the things you said, running through my head. When I tell you, if they did Spotify Wrapped, when it wrapped at December 31st, that would probably be in my top 5, because the way I was listening to that song, trying to replay that energy, I was sobbing. I sobbed through most of those episodes. I'm not even going to lie to you. That 5th episode, probably my favorite. So basically, in the Game Changer series, the first book is technically Scott Hunter and Kip. So if you watch the show, the 3rd episode is all Scott and Kip. If you're watching and you're like, who the fuck are these two? That is actually the first book. And I read the first book because like after I finished the series, I was like, how can I get more of this expeditiously? Okay, so I read the first book, and it's kind of crazy how much, obviously it's not everything, because you can't always put all the thoughts and feelings and energy of a book into a TV or a movie show, whatever. Anyway, so the 3rd episode is all Scott and Kip, and it's kind of crazy how much they put into that episode, like basically the entire book of Game Changer. It was like kind of crazy. So in the 5th episode, it kind of comes up again because Scott is also in the closet. He's also a hockey player in the league. And at the end of the 5th episode, they're about to like win like the cup or whatever. And Scott Hunter's team wins it, and he's like, oh my God, I'm elated. I'm so happy. This is a dream that I've had since I was a little boy, X, Y, and Z. And as he's celebrating, he's seeing like all of his teammates and their wives and their children come onto the ice, and he's like, oh my God. And he's like, I wish that I could have my boyfriend here because it's like such a moment. Like it's like families here, all this kind of stuff. And Kip is in the crowd, and he like looks up at Kip and he's like, come down. And Kip's like, what? Like, come down? Like, no. And he comes down, and basically Scott kisses Kip on the ice. When I first watched it, I was gagged and gooped. I was crying and I was sobbing. And earlier in the 5th episode, Shane got injured. And he basically asked Ilya to come to his summer cottage. It's like really like recluse. It's, they have a couple weeks off from training and stuff. And he was like, I want you to come to my cottage. And Ilya's like, no, we can't do that. And all this kind of stuff. And then after Scott and Kip are kissing and it's like on the television, Ilya calls Shane and goes, I'm coming to the cottage. Deceased, sobbing. I was sobbing. And then you have the 6th episode, which is all them in the cottage, and it's like so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then his parents or his dad sees them two kiss when he goes into his house, and he's like, oh my God. So basically Shane has to come out to his parents, and they are so supportive, and it was just so beautiful. And I cannot believe that there's only 6 episodes. I know I didn't get into all of it, and I got into a lot of it, but like there's so many okay. The reason why I love this show, do I love gay sex? Yes, I love to see men kiss. I do. I mean, do I want kind of low-key a bi-man? Maybe a little bit. Is there anything wrong with that? I'm like, kiss, 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 kiss. I love watching men kiss. It's so amazing. Because there's just so much energy and testosterone going. But there's so many layers to this show. Like, yes, okay, gay sex, amazing. But there are so many themes, okay? So it's like a hyper-masculine sport like hockey. And it's like kind of dealing with the amount of masculinity that surrounds a sport like that and how you can't come out. Locker room talk, and also like being feminine within your masculinity and kind of letting those walls come down when you feel like you are with that person, that you're the person that you really love and you want to be with. It is so beautiful and textured and deep. And it's also, I think the reason why there is such a widespread response to it is because we're really seeing men be soft, and there's a yearning. Their situationship lasted 8-10 years. Like, that's a long fucking time. And it just shows that like there are so many there's so much depth that goes into falling in love, and especially for somebody who's like in the closet and trying to deal with themselves and their sexuality. It's like really beautiful and interesting, and I feel like we haven't seen something like this in a long time, / if ever. Like, obviously there are definitely some examples to this, but I think that we've been needing this, okay? Within that, I've become literally like a Jehovah's Witness for this show. Every time I feel comfortable with a person, because obviously not everybody is in tune with their sexuality and wanting to watch gay shit, okay? I don't understand them because I love it, but alas, I respect people and whatever. But when I feel comfortable with them and I know that they would like it, I'm like, have you heard about Heated Rivalry? Have you heard about the good Lord? I am spreading the good word about Heated Rivalry. And I just like, I was a Directioner. I loved One Direction. I love One Direction so much that I watched them on Britain's X Factor. Okay, this was back in 100 years ago, okay? And I watched them on X Factor, and I became so fucking feral for them that I bought their first CD from England, and I had it shipped to my house in Maryland, okay? Because they weren't even in the United States yet, okay? They weren't global. I got my finger on the pulse. Actually, pulse is right here. Finger is on the pulse. And I just, like, haven't felt this way about men in, like, since being a directioner. Like, it's actually, like, palpable. Like, my phone background. Hold on. God damn it, hold on. Gotta close up all my apps. My phone background. Like, I can't stop. I can't stop. Like, I really just can't. Like, I really can't. I can't stop thinking about anything else. I've watched every episode, like, when it was coming out, like, 2 or 3 times. And then last night I was like, you know what? I was feeling a little sad. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to rewatch this again. From the top. Take it from the top. And then also, like, I know there's a lot of feral bitches on TikTok who are also in this cult. And thank God for the girly pops who are on TikTok, who are making these fan edits of the show and placing all these different songs on top of these edits. And when I tell you, every song is about Shane and Ilya. And I'm telling you, every song is about Shane and Ilya. It hurts me. It hurts me. Yes, I watch like 20 edits a day. Get a job, Caroline. Get a job. Well, I'm fully sweating. I'm sitting in my soup. But anyway, I'm just feeling a lot of things towards it. And if you haven't watched it and you made to this point, I implore you to really watch the program because it's fucking amazing. And I told my mom when I was home for Christmas, I was like, Mom, you should watch the show. We are not watching it together. I'm like, I know we're close, but we're not that close. I'm not trying to watch somebody get railed from behind with you sitting next to me. That's just not happening. So I implore you to watch the program, and I really love it. And I hope that you do too. Please hit my comments and with all your thoughts and feelings on the show and the program. And thank you so much for coming back. Season 2 of the Heated Rivalry. Of the So Yeah podcast. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so happy to be back. And I just want more this year. More views, more likes, more comments. So please be a part of that process. Spread the good word about me. I know you love it. XOXO, Gossip Girl. Without further ado. So yeah!